I oftentimes tell you guys on this channel that as delusional as some of the MAGA bases over in the United States, we literally right here in the United Kingdom have some delusional UK MAGA individuals as well. In this clip, we're going to see a Donald Trump superfan call into LBC and try and explain and justify Donald Trump's ongoing war with Iran. As usual, let's watch the clip in full. I'm going to hold my commentary, my thoughts, and my perspective towards the end. Hype this video up if you're glad that I brought it to you. Let's get into it.
Hi. Now, I've been listening to your programme, and it's beginning to sound like the Labour Broadcasting Corporation. Everybody's phoning in, denigrating Donald Trump, whom I think is possibly one of the best strategists the 21st century. I think that he's saving the world from what would have been terrorists armed with nuclear weapons, and people are deriding him. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, has been asked to help with the Straits of Hormuz because they believe there may be mines there. Nobody is saying anything about the 6 Royal Navy mine sweepers that were scheduled for decommissioning. They're in a state of disrepair. There's 6 of them. And the government have decided to invest the money that would have been used, which is $2.5 billion, to sort out those mine sweepers by investing in a beta, a test thing where they will be hopefully detecting mines, but it's not ready to go yet.
Okay. John, do you mind if I just separate your 2 points? Firstly, on the President of the United States being the greatest strategist of the 21st century, what was the strategy to end this conflict with Iran? What's the end point of this conflict?
Before going into Iran, he went into the greatest country as far as oil resources go, which is Venezuela, and he's taken control of the oil fields there.
Right.
Now, that is where most of the heavy oil for China and Russia comes. So they can't prosecute a war. Taiwan or Russia is now actually having problems with fuel for its domestic use. They're having to import refined petroleum.
And this is a great point about Venezuela and the Venezuelans providing China in particular with oil. I agree, but can we focus on Iran? And as the greatest strategist of the 21st century, in your opinion, what was the strategy to get out of this war with Iran, to stop the escalation that would see a regional conflict or wider? What's the plan?
Well, the plan was that there is actually a plan B that nobody is talking about.
Okay, what's the plan B?
The fact is that Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Arab Emirates have actually developed pipelines that are in place in case of this type of emergency that is capable of delivering 7 million barrels a day of oil to tankers that will then not have to go through the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, that's a big plus point. The fact is...
Well, where is that happening, John? So my listeners can, the people listening to the programme can rest at ease knowing that petrol prices are going to come down imminently because the Saudis are going to be pumping 7 million barrels of oil a day through the pipes that you say are the Americans' plan B.
No, absolutely not. The world use per day is 20 billion
So, John,
barrels.
Again, let's come back to the strategy that you say Donald Trump is resting upon that means he's the greatest strategist of the 21st century, and the strategy for exit from the war with Iran was
going to obliterate their ability to up nuclear weapons and threaten Europe
that's the purpose.
And America.
I agree that's the purpose of one of the purposes that Trump has outlined for the war. They may have done that to a greater or lesser extent, don't know. But now that there is a blockage in the Strait of Hormuz, and now that there are missiles raining down on Gulf neighbours, what's the plan, as you understand it to be, from the Americans to get this to stop?
I think the plan must have been very much like in World War II when Sir Winston Churchill actually developed a department called the SOE. SOE was, in World War II, a department that trained people to liaise with the
Do you see such an offering from the Americans at the moment?
I think that the obvious way to deal with the failing Iranian clerical government at the moment is to arm the Iranians that actually used to call themselves Persians, and they were members
and how is
of
that?
a free
How is that
state.
going, John? How are the Iranians arming the civilian population of Iran to go and rise up against the remnants of that theocratic?
The problem you have with that is the Iranian clerics and their IRGC have actually eradicated 40,000 Iranians for protesting.
So, John, the plan that you say the president is relying upon, the one that we should have joined in with as part of our obligations to the alliance with America, that strategy has moved from Saudi's pipelines to Europe with 7 million barrels a day, arming the Iranians, which isn't happening, some rebuffed version of a World War II department to go and sort this out diplomatically, which doesn't have any... That's not happening.
You obviously don't understand what the SOE was. The SOE...
I don't care, because it's not happening. Where are you getting this idea of a strategy from?
Well, he's already prevented China from going to war with Taiwan. He's limited the heavy oil usage from Russia for its own use to perpetrate the war in Ukraine. I think that's a brilliant move in itself.
And on Iran?
Russians are now having to import refined fuel.
And on Iran?
On Iran, we are only a short way into the war. Iran's ability to defend itself
it was going to be finished. You said it was going to be done in a couple of weeks. That it's going to be short, and you think it's a short one? That we're only a short way in?
I never heard him say it's going to be done in a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, John, you've not been listening, my friend. This was going to be done in a couple of weeks. The president said only the other week. And yet you've coupled together a strategy that the American president has not outlined, has never detailed, that none of the American administration have come up with. You've got something else. I mean, it's a good effort. Maybe they'll be on the phone to you, John, for a strategy. But the idea that this shows that Trump is the greatest strategist of the 21st century, not sure it stands up.
So, sorry, the video skipped too long to the next one. But I always say to you guys on this channel, I always say it. What's going on with MAGA in the United States isn't just a United States problem. It's not. We have them right here. We have people that consistently and continuously say we need a Donald Trump right here in the United Kingdom. These are the sort of things that some of these people say. And as embarrassing as it is, they will continue to speak up and say the things that they said. I mean, look, there's not really much to say because the video spoke on it all in of itself. But the very fact that the gentleman tried to say Donald Trump never said it's only going to be a couple of weeks just shows how delusional MAGA, but even UK MAGA is. He has absolutely no clue what it is that he's talking about. And that's the reason as to why when Tom Swarbrick pushed back, you saw he struggled. He struggled and then turned around and tried to say to Tom, you have no clue what you're talking about. But it's embarrassing. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this clip in the comment section below. Hype up the video and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next clip.